sustainable competitive advantage is the workforce, the people who make the company.
The employee who are engaged outperforms significantly from their disengaged counterparts. In today's world, where business means to do more with less, engaged employees can prove to be significant differentiators between surviving and thriving. Corporate Conclave 7 will address contemporary issues of employee engagement.
Now I would like to invite Anand Agarwal to give a brief introduction of our first speaker of the day, Mr. George Matthews.
Mr. George Matthews is the head of HR Shared Services function at ADP India and is responsible for compensation and benefits, employee onboarding, employee engagement practices, HR policies and procedures, and HR reporting. He also has the additional responsibility of learning and leadership development function. Having over 16 years of experience in various HR functions, he is associated with ADP since 2005 and has been an integral part of the growth of ADP India from 1,000 employees to over 7,000 employees as of now. Mr. George Matthews is also a member of ADP India HR leadership team and has played an instrumental role in the transformational journey of taking the HR function to the next level. Mr. George Matthews is an HR panel member of CII, ITSAP, and NASSCOM Hyderabad chapters. Mr. George Matthews is an MSW from Osmania University and also a law graduate. Sir, it's a great pleasure to have you on campus.
Thank you, Anand. Now we would like to call Kunal Jain to introduce our second speaker of the day, Ms. Deepthi Verma.
Good morning, everyone. It's a privilege to introduce our eminent speaker for the day, Ms. Deepthi Verma. She is currently working as Head HR Tech Business for Amazon India. Prior to Amazon, she was working with Dr. Reddy's Lab as Head HR for API Business and International Markets. Ms. Deepthi Verma has also worked with NIIT as Regional Head HR for Andhra Pradesh region. She has done her MBA HR in Marketing from FMS Jabalpur. She did her graduation from Indore University. Ms. Deepthi Verma has various awards and appreciations to her credit. She was awarded the Chairman Excellence Team Award for living the values at Dr. Reddy's Labs. She has also been conferred with the Women Superachiever Award 2009 by World HRD Congress. Ma'am, we are delightful to have your presence at our campus.
Thank you, Kunal. We would like to set the context by inviting Shubham Singhal, a student of PGDM batch 2012-14. He would share his experience on employee engagement that he gained during his internship at NCR Corporation.
Thank you, Spriha. So today I'll talk about the project that I did during my summer internship at NCR Corporation. So it basically is about best practices in employee engagement and development of an employee engagement portal for NCR Hyderabad. The basic objectives. So they have already talked about the employee engagement, what it is about. But the basic problem at NCR Hyderabad was that the people, the employees, were not talking to each other. They did not have a social interest group. They did not have much interaction between each other. So, these are the employees who are very much tech savvy, who are very much involved, using all the kinds of social networks like Facebook, Google Plus and all. But they do not know that the person sitting next to me is having the same interest groups as me. He is having the same interests, but I'm not able to talk to him. So that's why the employee engagement was low. So the objective was to ensure that the employees are positive advocates of the brand, and also to bring together the employees of the common interest as a social group. So a study was done of what are the best practices across select IT companies in the city. Employee engagement activities at Hyderabad. So if I am new to Hyderabad, what will I do if I want to know the people who are around me and whom I have this common interests with? So I'll go on Facebook and I'll use the graph search, which has been newly introduced. I'll do a search as people who like cycling and who are in my city. Or I can go to Google Plus. Google Plus has the concept of circles. So what happens is all of us have many contacts, thousands of contacts. We have a personal family, we have a friends, office network, and other groups. So this is how the circles concept work. And some of these, as you can see, even overlap. So family and classmates, co-workers, best friends, and the people who I share with my hobbies. But at NCR Hyderabad, these are the demographics. So NCR Hyderabad is fairly a young group with 596 odd employees. The gender ratio is 84% to 16%. Average age is 28 years. This is where I would like to have an interest, is that this age group belongs to the youth. As per the World Alliance of Youth Empowerment, the age group that is defined is 18 to 35. So this age group is very much tech savvy, has a lot of show on the Facebook, on the Google Plus, and on the social interest sites. So given this age group, an interactive online engagement portal is the best idea. So I came up with this portal as Yuvedika. So Yuva means youth, Vedika means a platform. So it is basically a platform for the social interest groups to bring around the people together. So features of this site are: it is customizable, it is easy to use and manage, it has simplistic feature, it's in a form of a blog. It is a one-stop informative place for all the information that you require, and over here you can actually go and log in and know that what is happening in your office, so that you can keep yourself updated, and whenever you are bored or whenever you want to do something, you can just go and see. So let me tell you the basic structure of the site. So a number of headings are there, and along with the drop downs. So these are the pages and the sub pages and the sub pages. So Yuvedika clubs, which means the NCR clubs for the project Yuvedika. A number of headings are there, like cultural, adventure club, CSR activities, sports and fitness, women in NCR, travelogue, and literary. So all the activities that are going to happen and are happening are clubbed under this thing. Like cultural again has sub parts as ethnic day, then celebrations. Celebrations includes Diwali, Holi, Eid. Then competitions like music competition, singing competition, dance competition, the music club, wherein NCR has its own band, with whom I also made the audio of a video, the festival celebrations, and more. So it also has a search bar, which is present across the site, and anything can be searched from it. This idea I got from the Google, wherein one of my friend is working with Google, and the employee engagement portal of Google also has this. Then recent posts. So whenever you log in, the people around you would have been already posting something. So over here, no matter which page you are on the site, you can always go through the recent posts and the recent comments. So you are constantly updated. The interactive participation in Yuvedika clubs. So as you can see, this is an example of a badminton club, wherein the introduction is given and a welcome note. So now a person is saying, I am game for it. Another person is replying onto it. So this is a reply onto this post, and this is a new post over there. So this is how it is an interactive participation. The calendar of events. What is happening is, in today's life is, we all have many calendars. We have a calendar of our office, the professional work, our own personal work, our to-do list, and these kind of other activities. So I came up with an idea of using the Google Calendar, and I embedded it into the website. So what will happen is, over here you can see the calendar as agenda wise, or weekly, monthly, and you can change it. And this calendar can be easily synced with your own personal calendar on your smartphones, on your laptops, your tablet devices, everywhere across the globe. So this is synced with the help of the Google technology, and the employees can sync their personal calendars with the events. This is one place for all the activities and the automatic sync. So this is present right into the website. So the FAQs which generally the employees ask is, how can be a part of this? You just need to log in and you're done. Then when should I access it? You can access it at any point of time. Also, is it safe or not? Yes, it is very much safe, since it is hosted on the NCR's internal server, and it is live 24/7. What are the various practices present here in the group? Like I mentioned, all the activities like cultural, sports, the gym, the internal facilities, then indoor sports, outdoor sports, all are grouped over here. And also the site will be constantly updated as per the need. And we have formed a focus group wherein the SPOCs have been created, single point of contacts. Like for the cultural, this person is the head. So that person will be given all the admin access of adding people, putting up posts, and declaring the competitions. The implementation plan. So first is the communication about the website to the employees. This is very much important, as we all know. A communication plan is the very much important thing. Encourage them to participate in the activities. Measure their participation and take feedback from them. Incorporate the feedback into the website. Over here, the communication includes the this website as well as the video that I will be showing, as well as the whole communication plan is being created, wherein the whole purpose and the functionality of the website and the whole things will be taken. The name of the SPOCs will be communicated to all the employees. Encourage them to participate in the activities. It is also, as you can see, it is part of the employee engagement itself. If you are engaging them, then it's part of the employee engagement. And also the word that I just said, Yuvedika, it was just first of all decided by me, but later on we decided that let's have a competition, internal competition, wherein the employees can give their name by themselves. This will again engage them, and so it will be like before the starting of the project itself, the employees are engaged. Measure their participation and take feedback from them. This is also linked with the gamification, which I will be talking about in the next slide. Then incorporate the feedback into the website. So as I just said, the whole website is very much customizable. The SPOCs, the local admin, and the people who are having the admin access, even the employees themselves can put their posts. So if I like something, I can post over there. And that's it. That is the basic concept of travelogue. Like if I am a good traveler, I travel a lot. I recently went to Bombay, Goa, Kashmir. I can post about it. So people who are planning to go to Kashmir next time, they can easily communicate to me. So that's how it's bringing the people together. The expected plan is that interaction level will increase. People will get to know each other. They will form social interest groups. The e-governance. So everything will be managed by the local admin team. The site will be live 24/7 on the internal servers. 90 days is the live period of the post that is decided as per the NCR standards. This is because of the standards and all the obvious reasons. It follows all the compliance standards, and all the content will be strictly monitored, and also there will be disciplinary action, if any, of that case. The road ahead. Applying gamification. So I recently did a course with University of Pennsylvania, the Wharton School. So the gamification basically talks about engaging more the people and employees in this case. So the basic concept is implementing badges, points, and leadership boards, the BPL system. So points will be awarded to the employees as per their the time they spend on the website, the number of posts they do, and also the quality of the content. So I may be posting hundreds of comments, hundreds of posts, but the quality is not that much good. So as we all know, the like concept, the +1 concept, the like concept that is there in the Facebook, the +1 concept that is there on the Google Plus. So by that we can know what is the quality of the content, and on the basis of that, points will be awarded to the employees, the virtual points. On the accumulation of certain number of points, people will be getting badges, the virtual badges, which they can even take a printout and show it as a matter of proud on their workbench. Then, on the basis of on the accumulation of these badges, the leadership board will be created. And all of this is an automatic thing. So the PBL system will be thus a leadership will be implemented. The leadership board will be having the employees who have the maximum interaction level, who have the maximum engagement. Now, if I am a new employee, I happen to join NCR Hyderabad, I can know who is the person to be contacted and trustworthy by this leadership board. This will also increase the engagement level. So, and one other thing is, apart from the PBL system, include the fun element and the surprises. So we all like fun, we all like surprise elements. And also include a progressive path of the growth. So what happens is, we all play games. And why are the games so much engrossing, so much engaging? Because we start at a level which is a very, very easy level, and later on as you progress, the difficulty level increases. So this will also have a boss fight concept, wherein multiple levels are there, and at the multiple levels there are heads. So this concept is also implemented by NFS, as you all must be knowing. NFS Most Wanted also had this. So in order to gain a position, you actually have to fight as in compete to gain the position. The next part is developing a mobile app for the employees so that they can access it on the go. So today the world is, you are all accessing from the smartphones, from the tablets that you have. So this is basically about developing the app for the employee engagement. Now the next project that I took up was to launch this portal by the video and also asking them for the entries for the name of this project. One second. So this video will be circulated across all the employees, and this is part of the communication plan of how to take it forward. Thank you.
Thank you, Shubham. Now we would like to open the panel discussion by inviting Mr. George Matthew.
Good morning, dear friends. Nice to see such a big enthusiastic crowd in the morning, and hopefully we would have a nice learning out of this session. I hope so, and probably from my experience as a practitioner, we'll be able to talk what we do on the ground, and I think that will really help to think about it and start. When you start your work in some organization, someplace, you'll be able to have a jump start on that. So start. So employee engagement, the need and opportunity is what I'm talking about. One thing comes to my mind when we talk about engagement. I used to talk this in various forums, and whenever we meet on such occasions, is that engagement is a phase which is very nice to be in, of course, before marriage. And so some of you would agree that those who are here who are married, that that period of courtship is something which we always look forward to, that bonding, that involvement, and after that after marriage it starts slowly going down, and then we try to and struggle to keep it alive. That's something on the lighter side. So I draw a few parallels from that in terms of when we talk about employee engagement, and that is about involvement. And that is the key which I find and I feel I have experienced is what is there in employee engagement when we talk about is the involvement. So I'll talk from, as I said, from my experiences in my organization in the last 8 odd years, what we have been going through various phases in engagement, and the experiments and the initiatives around which we have been working for so many years. And we had been associated with Gallup and for a long period of time, for about 6-7 years, working with them on the measurement of engagement practices. And after that, for the last 3 years, we are using a tool from Kenexa for the measurement of engagement practices. So I'll be using a few of those definitions which we work with them on that. So it's about alignment to the organizational goals is what I will say is about engagement. It is the goals of the organization, that is what is I'm looking at, and I'm aligning myself to that, and that's the key part of engagement. It's, as I said, it's about to an extent which employees connect to the business outcomes of the organization. It is an extent to which I connect to the vision, mission, values of the organization, and applying the discretionary effort in achieving those tasks. Now, when I say discretionary effort, it is going above and beyond in achieving those tasks. So going above and beyond is what is critical here when we talk about as an engaged employee. This is what Kenexa defines about the engagement index. So engagement is not just satisfaction. Right? Most of us always have this view that if we have a satisfied employee, then he is or she is an engaged employee. A satisfied employee may not be an engaged employee. He may be satisfied but may not be engaged. It's more than satisfaction. So it's about a combination of perceptions, and that is what what I'm trying to talk about here is about advocacy. It's about commitment. It's about pride. It's about loyalty. It's about responsibility. Advocacy is when you are recommending your workplace to another person, saying this is a great place to work, and this is something where I really enjoy working every day. And I rarely think about leaving this organization, or I rarely think about looking for some other organization. That's about the pride and loyalty of the organization. So this is a combination of all these factors which actually leads to engagement. As I was telling you about the Gallup studies which we were part of, that Gallup defines the engagement path as Gallup path. This is their proprietary slide, as or versus a traditional path. So let me first take you to the traditional path which typically any organization will go through, and that is have a great brand, good marketing strategy, people to work for, and then try to achieve the organizational results. The company profits, stock value increases, stakeholder value, etc. Versus that you identify your core competence, your strengths, find the right fit for that, have a great set of managers, and that's very, very critical. We'll talk about it later, that a great set of managers is very, very critical for highly engaged employee group. So once you have that actively engaged employee group, that will lead to a highly satisfied and engaged client base, which will lead to your, what we have seen in the upper segment is about the profits, the stock value increase, and the sustained growth. So the key is managing the employee engagement, and that's a piece where most of the organization will actually look into, and if they don't, then that's an uphill task in maintaining that top half what you see over there. So categories of employees from the engagement definition point of view. So who are the highly engaged employees, who are not? Highly engaged employees are those who are psychologically connected to the organization. They are there for a long term, very few mistakes, very likely to really contribute to the organization vision, mission, and values. Versus disengaged employees who are maybe productive, I'm not saying they are not productive, but maybe not a long-term player, and most of the needs are unmet. And the third set, the actively disengaged, are those who are there in the head count. They are physically there but psychologically absent. And they are very happy to share that unhappiness with others. And that's something is where any organization will have to look into, because that's where is the key for engagement. So the truly engaged employees, as I say in the bottom line, that they stay for what they give, and the disengaged employees are those who stay for what they get. So what is the organization dream? Like any organization, we dream that we have people who are highly engaged, more than 100%. They will give they bring their passion to the work. They enjoy coming to work every day, and that's the dream. But what is the reality? This is again based on the research which Gallup did in the North America region. Year and year, this is what it comes up, that 30% of the employees who are truly engaged, and this is true for any other country, any other place across the world, any industry. Of course, it varies from industry to company to company, but this is what mostly it comes up. 50% is not engaged, and 20% actively disengaged, the one which we talked about it earlier. So when Gallup did their engagement studies way back in early 1990s, and they came out with the Q12 measurement of employee engagement, they connected that with Maslow's hierarchy needs, and that's how they connected these two things. Let me explain to you. So if I say, what do I get? Am I clear about my objectives in the organization? Do I have the materials and equipments to do my work right? Those are the basic things. And then comes the next thing, is what do I give? Are my opinions counted in this organization? Is there someone who is supporting me in my growth? Am I getting the feedbacks regularly on time? Then, do I belong here? How do I know that? Do I have a best friend in this organization? And do my fellow employees and co-workers are aligned to the goals and visions and missions of the organization? And to the top, when I go, am I growing in this organization? Am I learning something in this organization? In the last 6 months, did I get a feedback about my performance and what I need to improve upon? And that is how these Q12 questions, which is Gallup uses for measuring employee engagement, is something which they do. So we have been using that, and in fact, it gave us tremendous amount of feedback in terms of what we need to do, where we need to focus on, and we were able to do that. And that is a key which I feel is that's very critical. But let me also tell you that it's always a good to do thing, that let's do a survey and get the results, communicate it, and then do nothing. So we repeat that year after year. It's not going to give any results. So unless we act upon it, so action is a key part of that. So we get the results, get the survey, communicate, and then act with the people. It's not that someone sitting in one corner room and then starts writing an action plan and say, hey, this is the action plan, now do it. No, it's not that. It's again involvement, getting the people, getting the team to come out with the action plans and work on it. I'll talk about it later as we come on that. A manager, as I was telling you, is a key factor in employee engagement, because employees join the organization but leave managers. And so, as a leader, what is the expectation? And that's a very, very critical factor to look at. Integrity is something which I always look forward in my leader, a stainless character, because I believe that if I don't find that integrity, and then there's no point in listening to a person who talks but doesn't walk the talk. So that's the key there. I get feedback. It's not that only during the annual performance appraisal that I'm given feedback. Hey, you didn't do that, you didn't do this. I was expecting this, but you did this and that. And then so the rating would be this because of that. That's not what I am expecting. I am expecting that I get feedback on a daily basis, every day, moment to moment, and I can improve on that. And that's very, very important thing. So I look in my leader that is a quality, and also believes in me, trusts in me. And belief and trust is something which is very, very important for a manager to have in the team, because without that, I don't think so we will be able to achieve those what we are talking as on an actively engaged status. And in self, what do am I getting what I require to do my work right? That's very, very important thing. Am I getting mentored by someone whom I respect? Am I valued? Am I feeling wanted, or do I get the respect? So that's something which I look forward to in myself in the organization. So what a leader can do? Leader can look at various things. Of course, as I said earlier, that people leave managers. They join the organization but leave managers, and so managers being critical and important, they need to do all those things which are critical for employee engagement in terms of being selfless, courageous, because we have to work for the team, and it satisfies their needs rather than mine. That's a very, very important aspect. I said about integrity. That's very, very critical. Identify, celebrate, and uplift. Shubham was talking about various activities which you do, and activities are a key part in engagement. You have to identify those which really matters. Celebrate, and celebration is very, very important through fun activities, through games, through events. That's very, very key part of an engagement which a manager can always look forward to, because again, as in the bottom, which you can see, is that competitive pay and benefits can get you in the game, but you may not win the race. For that, it's something more which is required. If that was the case, if I can give a super duper hikes every year and then say that, okay, I'm paying more than what the market can pay, may not be that the employee is looking for that. It's something more. Continuation on what the leader can do. Communication is a very, very critical aspect of this. Honest two-way communication is what I will put here. When I say honest two-way communication, it is both bottom-up and top-down. Because if I don't feel that the leadership is not communicating enough on various, could be initiatives, could be bad news, could be good news, I'm not getting it. I'm only getting it through someone else. Now that's not something which I'm looking forward to. It could be as simple as what we call as all hands meeting that my leader is arranging, or it's a weekly one-on-one meeting, or it could be a weekly group meeting or a team meeting, any kind of forum. But if that is happening regularly, it could be an email, it could be a face-to-face meeting, or it could be a video conference across locations. But that's something which I'm looking forward in terms of communication. If that is not, then I don't think so that I'm engaged or I'm respected. In fact, when we were year after year we were getting this result, and I'm talking about the global results of the engagement survey. The last 2 years we found that there are two areas where we were scoring low. One was on the career growth and development. World over, that is something which various companies from the benchmark point of view are those who scored low. Another was on the communication. I'm talking about the two-way communication. So that is something which as a global practice we started working on it, and then we said that we will put in place across the globe a constant kind of communication, which it could be from the CEO, it could be from a group president, it could be from your immediate group head. It doesn't matter, but the flow of communication is something which through emails, through physical meetings, through conferences, we started doing it. And this year, when we got the result in May, we do the survey sometime in the month of April, and we get the results by May to start working on the action plans. We found a tremendous increase in the score, because then that we understood that this is something which employees look forward to, and that is and that, I mean, again, it's a constant practice. It cannot be that only for this survey we did that and after that we leave it. So this has to become a part of the organization's DNA, and that's what currently we are working on it. What a leader should not do, the opposite of what a leader should do. So that's what it covers about not to do micromanagement, because when I trust my team and my employees, I should give them that empowerment to take their decision, to take risks, and do their best. That's what as a manager I would and that's what my employees also would look forward to, because in our organization we talk about innovation is something which is a byword. In fact, we every year we come out with a theme in our organization, and this year's theme was ICON, ICON. And our head of the organization is very every year he actually comes out with this concept of having a theme, and so this theme, when it was presented in our annual day, people were looking at what does this mean, icon. Okay, we are talking about Sachin Tendulkar, or we are talking about Amitabh Bachchan. Who is the icon here? So he said icon is innovation comes on naturally. That is ICON. And so innovation become a byword. So something which, and what has happened over the last few years is that we ask our employees to come out with ideas in their own businesses which can be used to do it in a better way. And so ours is an organization which is completely doing the back-end work for our corporate office in US. And so when we started doing this ideas, and we created something called in our portal called Idea Bank, iBank, and we asked people to start posting all those ideas which they can use to make this process which they are working on better than what they are doing. It could be substantial saving in dollars, could be substantial saving in time and effort. And this year when we looked at our ideas, we found that about 4,000 plus ideas which were posted. And out of that, the internal jury selected something about to the tune of 2,000 such ideas, and were presented to the global jury. And we have a jury at a global level which looks at that, and almost 600 to 700 of them were implemented. Now, these ideas were purely done by the people on the ground, the associates, or we call our employees as associates. So I'll be using the word associates, so don't get confused with that word. So our associates, when these ideas were implemented, that's something which they know that, okay, I said that this is how it will help, and it has been implemented. And this is not just for India. The business is across the globe, and everywhere it got implemented. So that's something which I feel that I am contributing, and that's for me is engagement. When I see that my ideas, first of all, I am being asked to give ideas, and then when my ideas are, of course, not all ideas may be selected because there could be something which may be a duplicate, may be not be a unique one, or maybe something is existing somewhere else in the world, so it could not get implemented. But definitely something where there's an opportunity for me to contribute to the business of the organization. And that's where aligning with the vision of the organization, aligning with the goals of the organization comes into the picture. And that's the key, and that's very, very important aspect of engagement. So what it leads to? It leads to all of these things. It leads to the discretionary effort that I always look forward going above and beyond, and seamless excellence. That's something which I always would like to do that. Performance numbers go up. Bottom line is increasing. Organization is able to achieve those objectives which it has been set for the year. And employees will be willing to burn that extra 1%. And that's very, very important statement, which I believe that's a very magnificent thought of burning that extra 1%. We all carry that reserve of extra 1%, but it's their ability, courage to use that when it is required. And that's what engaged employees will always think of doing it. This is purely from an ADP's point of view, my organization's point of view. We believe in service profit chain, and very strongly, I mean, across ADP globally, we believe in service profit chain. And service profit chain is nothing but the linkage between highly active, engaged employees to the company results. So highly active employees, if they are engaged, actively engaged, will lead to high customer satisfaction, loyalty, retention. And if highly satisfied client is satisfied and is engaged, they will buy more products and services from the organization. And also about getting more clients, word of mouth, which I was talking about. And that again leads to the company results, aligning with the company results. So that is something which we believe in and has been our cornerstone in terms of employee engagement. So what do we do? There are so many things which we do, but I try to put few things which we do, and then I'll just explain to you a couple of things. One which I always talk about is the employee life cycle and beyond. Typically when we talk about employee life cycle, it is about when the first day in the organization to the last day in the organization for any employee. But for us, it starts from the day a candidate walks into our organization and even beyond when he has left the organization. So let me explain how that happens. So we have a ADP India level metrics wherein if a candidate is walking into our organization, could be, I'm talking about the scheduled interviews. Okay, a lot of walk-in interviews happen which is not scheduled, but scheduled interviews where we call in candidate based on the resume screening and all those things what happens. So the moment that candidate walks into our office, the clock starts in terms of how much time that candidate is waiting for the first person to come and interview. And our target is 15 minutes. So within 15 minutes, the hiring manager or the HR person, whoever is assigned for that interview, has to meet the candidate wherever that candidate is scheduled to meet. That's a very, very key metric. Now, you may ask that how do we track that? So at the front office itself, there is a form which the candidate fills up with the time when he has or she has come into the organization. And that is collected. Of course, it also has two parts. One is that when the candidate comes in and is experienced in with that 15 minutes, and post the interview, discussions are over, we take another feedback in terms of how it went through. So this is a very, very important aspect of our thing. Okay, it's not ending there. What do we do about it? So there's a very interesting thing when about the new hire orientation or the induction which we do for new employees when they join the organization. And we do have employees joining every week. And every week at least 9 or 10 people will be joining us. And then for them we do a 3-day induction program. It's a 3-day orientation program where it covers all aspects of our business globally, India, and also about the various aspects of the policies, HR and things like that. The last day of that program is for about 3 to 4 hours, and it is done by our head of the organization, or he's the managing director of the organization. There is no day that he misses that opportunity to meet that set of people who joined that week. So he spends about 3 to 4 hours. So evening about 4 or 5 it starts. We call that with high tea with Shakti. Shakti is his name, so just coined that name. And goes on till 8:39. And he speaks to each and every employee who has joined. And among so many things which he asks about them, one of the thing is that how much time you waited for the interview. Because for him to corroborate that which we as an HR produce to him, saying that this week the metrics is that none of them waited more than 15 minutes and everything is fine, he gets that, but he asks them there in that like a forum like this, and he expects an answer from them in terms of honestly telling that how much time they have waited, and then he corroborates. And if he finds a discrepancy, then that hiring manager will have a conversation with him. So that's something which we do. And we actually have seen results. Today when I remember before we started this about a year back, there were people who used to complain like, I waited for 1 hour, what kind of organization is this, nobody is even talking to me. Not that everyone, but at least we used to get that kind of a feedback. We said no, that's not something which we wanted to do, because that person may get selected, may not get selected, but that experience that person will always carry about this organization, and that is important. And if that person is joining this organization, we don't want to start with a mindset that okay, in this organization I think there's no one who follows that timeliness or importance or value or respect for any associates. So that is something which we did. There's one more aspect to it. I'm sorry, I'm talking about one thing, because I think that is what covers most of the thing. We make an offer, and we can just do an offer letter and then say, okay, here is your offer letter, submit all your documents, and then after your current notice period is over, you come and join and so date. But our association or the engagement starts at that level. In fact, what we do, once we make an offer, we have a series of programs which keeps happening by the time the person joins us. And that is starting from, and so what we call this as a multi-dimensional start offer kit. So there is an element of surprise over there. There is a box which goes to their house at the address which they have given. And okay, I don't have the demonstration, but I know someday definitely I would like to do that. So that a box goes to the house, and the box contains of some goodies. It's not the goodies in material aspects, but goodies in terms of what we want to tickle the brain of that person in terms of how much they know about this organization. There are letters from the leaders. There's a CD about the organization. There are some games which actually, and the puzzles which will be there about the organization. If they complete the puzzle and on the day of joining, if they get it all correct, and there's an award for that. So idea of this was not just to do that, and as a good to do thing, but idea was to see that, as I said, it's a multi-dimensional kit. One is that we want our yield ratio to be high. Yield ratio is that we make an offer and we want that person to join us. So that is one thing. Then second was that we wanted to touch the family. And I'll talk about that because for us, the family members of every associate is an extended family of the organization. So we do this kind of activities which can touch every associate's family in some way or the other. So this box goes to the family. The family members see that, and we wanted to actually touch them in terms of what the organization is, who are the people behind it, what they want to do, what is that this person who is joining from that family would be doing, and what kind of association he or she will have with the organization going forward. So that's something which we do. I'll jump to the exit part. So when a person leaves, we have a policy that the full and final settlement, many of you may not be aware of this full and final settlement, is about that when person leaves, they have to get a relieving certificate, they have to get an experience certificate. If any dues are there, they have to get from the organization in terms of monetary or such things that has to be paid. The policy in our organization is that on the last working day, we have a 2 months of notice period. Notice period is mandatory for all associates to follow after resignation from the date, 2 months of notice period. On the day when they leave, the end of 2 months, the last day, they will have their leaving letter, they will have the service certificate, they will have their money credited to their bank account by the time they leave the organization in the evening. So this is something which we have been following, and it is tracked. It is tracked in every manager's MBOs. That how much, because starting from the managers and various other touch points, could be HR, could be finance, could be the facilities admin team, because each one has to clear the dues, if any, from that employee and see that finance is able to do the processing and HR is able to process the letters and give it to the employee when he or she leaves. And that is tracked, as I was saying. It is tracked. It is there in the MBOs of each of the leaders in terms of are able to meet that target of at least 95% in time closure of those things. Even if they leave the organization, we keep sending the newsletters of organization to their house. If their addresses available locally, we do send. We keep sending emails. And in fact, 2 years back, we did a survey called the alumni survey. And that was triggered from one of the employee engagement survey results which we got, which says that they didn't find respect from their managers, and that was one of the pain point which we felt, and we wanted to see, apart from our existing employees who are staying with us, the people who have left us. So because many of them, they don't really tell the exact reason why they are leaving. Many of them, they say, yeah, I'm going for personal reasons. Some of them say, but not all of them. So through this survey, we did through a third party. We consulted an organization, and through them we did the survey. We almost got in touch with about 1,000 ex-associates of ADP over a period of, say, last 3-4 years who have left. 2 years back, we did this survey. Through email, through phone, and through a set questions. We wanted to know why they left and what are the areas which they felt could have been better, and those areas where we can work on. And we got a tremendous amount of response from them, and then we started working on, and in fact that proved that many of them were talking about that I didn't feel respected or I didn't feel valued in the team where I was working. Not directly maybe onto the manager, but could be various other reasons, also to the leader also. And then when we got the results, we called a managers meeting, all 200 of those managers who are in the organization, we called them and we presented it to them, saying that, hey, this is what the result has come. It's not a reflection on you, but it's a mirror. At least you can look at that and then feel that, am I doing all those things which is required for me to have my team as actively engaged? One was that, and second was we started doing programs which actually helps a leader to start thinking in that direction. And we started a series of programs where we wanted to cover most of them in terms of getting this alignment correct. So that's a thing. And now what happened? Okay, now what we have done based on the study, based on the results what we got and the experience what we have, we started doing that on a regular basis, not through a third-party consultant, but the HR team itself is doing that on a regular basis to connect with an employee who has left and do an exit interview after that, and not when they are there, because they may think that, okay, I don't want to tell the truth when I'm still there, but when a person has left, he or she may be able to tell us more facts about that. Of course, we don't take as it is when it comes. We corroborate with other facts. Is that person vindictive, or is it something which ulterior motive and all those things? That's something which we always do. Extended family, I talked about that. For us, the family touch point is a very, very critical aspect in our organization. This is something which we believe leads to the employee engagement, because an employee or an associate is not an entity in itself or himself. It is with the family which is there is a connect. It could be his spouse or her spouse or children or parents-in-law, whoever maybe it is. So we do have a series of programs where we see that the family is involved in activities which we do in our organization. It could be a family day, a get-together of all the family members. It could be a workshop which we do, like for example, we do every year a painting workshop. It's interesting, that's why I wanted to tell you. So all our tabletop calendars which you have on the desktops, and the greeting cards. The greeting cards we do send to each of the family on the New Year day, signed by head of the organization personally for all 7,000 members' families. So these cards and the tabletop calendars are made out of the paintings which we get from the associates and their family members, which we do as a workshop. So we print that as a greeting card and say that this was painted by so-and-so's son, daughter, parent, grandparent. We invite even grandparents. We say that anyone can come in. It could be a grandparent, it could be parent-in-law, it could be parents, it could be brothers, sisters, siblings, anyone. Just one example of what we do. We do a lot of yoga workshops. We said that you can get your family members if you feel that you have to make them participate in this organization, apart from the employees who work there. And I was telling about this greeting card which is sent. So the head of the organization signs each card personally and sends it to the family on every New Year day. So this is something which we wanted to, as a touch point, we wanted to see. One very other important program which is very popular and which is very, and I will say that and stop here. Of course, there are many things to talk about, but this is what we call as milestone. 3 years back, we initiated this program. It's a tremendous success, and that is about celebrating the wedding anniversary of associates. Not that all the employees will go together and then do some celebration. It is not that. So what we have done, we have a tie-up with 3 to 4 big hotels of Hyderabad and Pune, of course, where our other center is located. And on the wedding anniversary, there is an email which goes from the head HR to that associate, addressing to his or her spouse and the associate, saying that, in fact, very customized one, which says that, congratulations on your 3rd wedding anniversary, 4th wedding anniversary, 5th wedding anniversary. We have captured the data, and based on that customized email going to them and inviting them for a dinner at one of the hotels along with the spouse. And if they have kids, they can join with the kids, paid by the company, and they can choose from the 3 or 4 star hotels which we have put over there. Tremendous response and well received in terms of, they said that, okay, we do hear about team celebrating the birthdays. That's very common today in every organization. They do that, have a cake and then celebrate that. But this is something which was different, and not that we were celebrating in the office or anything. We said that, yeah, you can go to that hotel or restaurant which you choose and go there and have your dinner with your spouse. Enjoy that evening. A cab is provided in case if they don't have a their own car or something, or even if they have their car, they don't want to take, a cab is provided, paid by the company, pick them up, go to the hotel, after the dinner is over, drop them back. So it's not that it's about going the whole arc. It's not, okay, it is there, if you want to use it, use it. No, it's not about that. These are small things. Maybe it is not something which is maybe very expensive, maybe from a cost point of view, but gives a great impact in terms of employee engagement. It talks about a lot about the organization, and that employees is there to burn that extra 1% any time whenever it is required. And that is what is all about employee engagement and many such practices. And I think I just wanted to give that from a approach what as an organization we are following, not that other organizations, various organizations have, because there is no one size fits all. I'm not saying that what we are doing is same in every organization, may not be, or what others are doing will be fitting for us. These are something which evolve in your organization based on what you see and what you experience. Maybe it works well for us, may not work for some other people, but something which we definitely feel and thinking innovatively, because every year we have to think different thing. It cannot be the same thing continuous for after some time it becomes stale, and then people may not find the same value. So we have to come up with something new. So in fact, when we started this same milestone program, just I said, it was for 3 years. 3 years is over. Now we are working to see what next we can do. We cannot be continuing this like this. So something else the team is working on right now, and would be doing that for the next year. Thank you.
The experiences shared by you would be of great value to us, not because they have a great reason to be, but rather because they have not been given a great reason to be motivated and engaged. Now I would like to request Ms. Deepti Verma to share her thoughts about the discussion.
I'd like to just apologize to all of you. In my organization, we don't use PowerPoints. We always write white papers, so after 2 years I'm making a presentation. So it's not as fancy as you would see, but please pardon me for that. In Dr. Reddy's, where I'd spent 10 years, I think I would have made hundreds of presentations. So there's still a little bit of practice, so it's not so bad, but it is quite okay. So let me start with a small incident. I have an 8-year-old son, and I was returning from Bangalore yesterday. Tomorrow is Saturday, so we're going to play cricket. I said, apologies, Pranav. I have to go and talk to some students, so I can't do it in the morning. He says, you're going to talk to students? My teacher says talking is bad. I said, this is a different kind of talking, I talk and they listen. He says, then that's even worse. I hate all teachers who talk and they don't let you talk. I said, no, I'm going to give them information about a topic, so it's different. He says, what topic? I said, the topic is employee engagement. So he looks at my husband and says, Papa, what is employee? So he says, Beta, all people in an organization are employees. So he looks at me and says, you're going to tell people how to get engaged? Those people know how to get engaged much better than you, Mama. And you are old-fashioned, so they know how to get engaged. So I said, no, this is different kind of an engagement. He says, engagement is only one kind before marriage. Like that. Some people don't even want to get engaged. Like, look at Deepika Padukone in today's movie. Incidentally, they went for Chennai Express yesterday. So she didn't even want to get married. She suddenly, engaged. She suddenly got married. So are you sure you want to teach them? They already know. And then I kept wondering that, yes, you already know what engagement means. I don't know whether I'll really be teaching something different to all of you. So let's make this as a very interactive session where you teach me and I learn. Is that a fair ask? Yes. Yes. Okay. So let's move. So you all are future talent, future employees of organization. Do you all agree? Yes. Yes. So there must be some expectation you have from the organization when it comes to engaging you. Let's hear some answers. What do you think are your expectations from the organization when you say the organization to engage you? And I heard a wonderful session by one of your, where's that person who made it? Yeah. So what do you expect when you want the organization to engage you?
Autonomy and authority.
Autonomy and authority. What else? Anyone else?
Satisfaction
Satisfaction. What kind of satisfaction?
with the work.
Satisfaction with the work. Okay. And how would you define satisfaction?
The work which matches our skills.
The work that matches your skill. So if, let's say, an organization wants to hire you, they'll obviously look at your skills and then hire you, isn't it? They won't hire you for a role which is not matching your skills. So once you're hired for the skills, are you satisfied with the work that you do?
Also the environment around, how people talk to us.
Okay.
Interaction with the co-employees.
Okay. And when you say when they talk to us, talking is two-way?
Yes.
So it also means how you talk to them? Okay. So just wanted to leave you with this one. What else is engagement?
Job enrichment.
Job enrichment. Excellent word. You know, there are two favorite words of mine. One is strategy. And another is job. Anyone who comes and, in my interview, he comes and says, I want to do strategy. I said, apologies, after 16, 17 years in my career, I have not done strategy. But if you want to do, I learn from you. And second is job enrichment. When someone says, I want my job to be enriched, and I look at him and say, tell me what it is. Tell me.
Learning during the on-job learning, developing my skills, honing them. That is job enrichment for me.
Yeah. Who will do that?
The organization and myself.
How will organization do?
I'm giving me better job opportunities, as in challenging jobs, which will enrich my learning.
And how will challenging job comes?
Basically, I'll need to think more about it. How do I do it at a better way? In a better way.
Okay. Yes.
Ma'am, on job, basically, when you start the job, you develop skills, the profile that you're working on. Right? With time, your skills develop. The organization should understand, analyze that the skills are being developed. So more responsibilities, more roles should be given. So that is basically a career development should be throughout the career of the person who's working in the organization. It should be throughout the career development. So organization should put effort on that.
Okay. So let me tell you one truth about organizations that I've worked with, or the organizations that I've seen closely. Organization will do just X for you, and rest all depends upon you, how you develop your career. You know, every person is given the similar job description when he joins for a particular role, but there are some people who excel and some people who don't. The difference is only in the individual who chooses the path less traveled and make a niche for himself. Organization gives equal opportunities to all. So the myth that career development is in hands of the organization should be removed today. Career development is in your hand. Organization can just facilitate it. If you are doing well, the organization will open the path for you. If you aren't doing well, then you can expect anything from the organization, nothing will happen. So let's hear a little more about employee engagement. We'll come to development. There is one slide on development also. So we'll talk about that. What else is employee engagement?
Ma'am, when I'm working for a company, the leaders and managers should make me realize that yes, I'm a part of this company. Like I'm not just working for the sake of working.
Okay.
I'm working because organization feels that you are a part of this company, you are a part of family.
Okay.
And your efforts mean something to this company.
Okay, that's good. What else?
Involvement of employees in decision making.
The involvement of employees in decision making.
When we feel we belong to the organization.
When you feel you belong to the organization. What else? I had seen some slides about, he was talking about fun at work, creating some, is that also employee engagement?
Yes, ma'am.
How much percentage of fun at work is employee engagement? If you have all the right games going on, you have family day, everything, do you think you're still engaged? Would you be engaged?
It depends.
So let me talk to you about reality. What organization expects out of you. You know, Dr. Reddy's, I had the opportunity to work very closely with the CEO, G.V. Prasad. So one day, I was heading the HR for the corporate sector. So he called me and he says, Dikya, I want you to come up with employee engagement activities. And I came up with all these things, you know, all the games and fun activities and things like this. And he looked and gave me back the paper. He said, this is not employee engagement. He says, employee engagement, if you really want to know, is when the employee finds the work that he does as fun. When he wants to come back to the organization and make a mark. Rest of the things that you do for the person are over and above. It's like, ek milega, ek ke saath muft. But when you are buying something, you have to get value on the thing that you are paying for. If you get something free, it will make you happy. But it will not make you feel satisfied, the word that you were saying. So if you want to find real satisfaction, you have to first look at what is the core thing the person is doing. Am I able to add value to that core thing? And if you are able to add value, then the organization really will treasure you as a resource. If not, then there is no reason for you to do all these fun activities if the work that the person is doing is not meaningful. So first you have to make the work that the person is doing meaningful. Engage with that person at the ground level and then start these activities. What happens is mostly we only do these activities and not do the fun activities. It's not that we shouldn't do fun activities. It is important to do fun activities because today the life has become so mechanical. You spend hours and hours. Like there are people who work for 10, 12 hours in the office. So when you work for 10, 12 hours in the office, there is no disconnect. Like you're always thinking about the work. There is no relaxation. So these kind of activities helps a person to get little enthused, get little lively about life and think that there is work, there is life beyond work. But that can't be the core. First, the person needs to feel happy about what they are doing, and the organization should find meaning in what they are doing, and then you can, do these activities. Moving on, I heard different definitions about employee engagement. I think Georgia had given a very good definition about employee engagement, and I heard you also talking about engagement, but I want to understand from you people as to what do you understand by engagement. Anyone? What is employee engagement? If you had to define it, this is what you heard from George.
Making the employees interested in work and the organization.
Okay, so you are talking about two aspects here, work and the organization. So there is some emotional and some professional this thing. Very good. What else?
Engagement means involvement in particular organization. Like you're working for the organization and the involvement which you have in the organization, which makes you feel yes, you are a part of this organization.
Sure. So let's just understand the definition. Engagement is a state of emotional and intellectual commitment to the organization. Why we call it having two aspects is because first is emotionally you should connect with the organization, that the culture of the organization is what you identify with. If you do not identify being in that culture, there are some organizations which are cutthroat culture. You may not just belong to those organizations. There's some organization where if you see the grid, people is more important than just having profits. So you have to first understand the culture. There's some organization whose values are innovation. There's some organization whose value is continuous improvement. So you need to think about, do you connect emotionally with this organization before you go into that? Second part is intellectually. The organization might have some real excellent work happening, but that's not the work you want to do. Your aspiration is somewhere else. Your aspiration is, let's say, not to just write a code. Your aspiration is to design something new. Or there is an excellent organization who's into customer service, but that doesn't come naturally to you. So intellectually you need to identify whether the goal of the organization and what you want to do does that tie. And it should not be for today's role, it has to be for futuristic kind of a role. Because you don't go to an organization to do one particular job. You go to an organization to build your career. So there has to be an emotional and intellectual commitment. Now the reality is the organization, when they talk about engagement, this is what they look at. And this is a model which a lot of organizations use. You can obviously, if you search on Google also, you will be able to get this. But basically it talks about say, stay and strive. The first is, are you positive about the organization, and are you saying the right thing about the organization to another person who is joining, or to people who can be prospective employers? So are you building the brand of the organization by yourself showing that you are happy? That's the first level of commitment. If you are happy, you will attract people and say, yeah, this is a great organization to work for. Will you ever get called, listen, this organization is lousy, but anyway, if you're looking for a job and you're desperate, come join it. We'll never go around saying that very well, isn't it? The second is stay. Today, mostly people track attrition, voluntary attrition, involuntary attrition, this attrition, let's do this for, helping people stay in the organization. But one thing that organization expects is that if we are investing so much in this person, is this person also emotionally connected and staying? Not because he's got X amount of money from us and he may get Y amount of money from another organization. Is he investing in long-term career with us? And last but not the least is, which I talked to you, is the person going above and beyond the role. Because mostly you will see that in each organization, people say, this is my job, I'm going to do this. This is not my job, it is not given in my KRA, I'm not going to do this. And those are the people organizations don't want. So when you talk about job enrichment, someone here was talking, when you were talking about, am I getting the required kind of a role? It depends only on you. Let me share a personal example with you about my successes and failures in different organizations. So I was one of a newcomer in the organization in Dr. Reddy's in 2002. I joined in 2002. I had 10-year stint with Dr. Reddy's, and I was hired for a particular role, but by the time I joined, the person who had resigned decided to stay back in that role. So for the role that I was hired, I was no more required for that role. So my HR head called me and said that, that role is not available, are you interested in doing this role? I could have easily said, no, my skills are for that role. I came here as corporate resource, and now you're asking me, CNB resource actually, compensation benefit resource, and now you're asking me to do recruitment. Recruitment is not something that would interest, but I didn't do that. I said, okay, I'll take this up. And I took that role up. And then I was doing that role for some time, and they came to me and said that, we have a position where we have to go and set up the HR in US for, we are starting our operations in US, and it is just a 2-month role. So by the time you come back after doing that, we're not sure whether this role that you're doing would stay. So are you ready to take that risk and go and be there for 2 months? And there were two issues there. One, I was just married, so leaving my husband for 2 months and going was a big challenge, and that could have got extended also. And the second was, when I come back, there was no guarantee that I'll have the role that I'm doing right now. I said, yes, I'll do that. And I went there. And for me, it was that there is an exposure to work in a different geography, and that's most important. So I took that chance. When I came back, to my best of my, the luck was so that by the time I came back, the role was given to someone else. And then they said that, there is this girl who's going on maternity. She heads the HR for international markets. We need someone for 3 to 4 months. Would you want to do that? And then we will figure out what we should do. I said, absolutely. Heading HR for international markets is a big thing. I'll get exposure to, look at different countries. I'll do that. And I took that. I failed miserably in the first 1 month, but then there was a support system that the organization, was backing me up for. And you know what happened? The girl came back from maternity, but my boss said, you continue, you're doing well in this role, you continue. So that was one of the roles which I did for 2 years or so. Otherwise, every year I used to have a role change. But in a way, it was good because every year I was getting exposure to something different. Because I did not get restricted to saying, no, I want to do only this particular role. And then I had my baby, so I went on my maternity leave. And during my maternity leave, my HR head called me and said, someone has resigned. Can you cut short your maternity and come? I said, sure. There we go. And that was my next role, which was corporate HR head role. And when I went very excitedly saying that I'm really wanting to take this role, he said, there is a small issue here. And I said, what's that issue? He says, we will give you corporate HR, but you have to take corporate admin also with it. I said, admin? I don't want to do admin. I'm HR person. He said, then you can think about it. Because at this age, if we are taking risk with you and giving you corporate HR, then you also have to think about it from the organization perspective. And my first reaction was, no, my admin. People will come and say, oh, this is dusty, this, that. And then when I went and talked to my mentor, I said, I'm going to refuse this role. He said, you are going to make the biggest mistake of your life if you were to refuse the role. And I took that role up. I took corporate HR and corporate admin together. And you know what happened? That paved the path for my success in Dr. Reddy's. And I had 10 years of long stint with Dr. Reddy's. In today's world, if you say you've been with an organization for 10 years, it looks a little impossible, but I had excellent journey. Thank you so much. So the only thing that I want to leave a thought with you is that stay with an organization, take chances with the organization, strive to do something which others haven't done, and you will create success for yourself. Moving on. So this is what we do, talent communication, talent management and talent deployment at Amazon when we talk about employee engagement. I'll tell you why there is a little gap between talent management and talent development. It's not that I didn't know how to make a PPT, this much I know, but we'll talk about it. So what does talent communication mean? Anyone? Other than the hands who've already spoken and raised. Anyone else? Talent communication. Yes, ma'am. So behind you, yes. About, in front of you, in purple shirt. Yes. What is talent communication?
Try to reach out to talent to other people, communicate what you have or what kind of skills you possess to your organization and the rest of the industry.
Very good. What else? Okay, let me twist the question a little bit. When should talent communication start?
When you just enter the organization.
Okay. Anyone else?
The organization is looking for that talent.
Okay. Anyone else? Yes.
It includes talking with talent. So the people who are already working in the organization and have already outperformed and excelled. So you talk to those people, to the employees, what are the challenges they are facing, and then bring a strong alignment between what challenges they are facing and where the company is lagging.
Okay. So, thank you for that answer. Let me ask you, what is the biggest war that most organizations have within each other? Retention? No, within each other. Not inside the organization. Let's say Wipro, Infosys, all the where is talent? Absolutely. So how do you attract talent? So if your communication starts after the employee joins, then you have lost the war even before starting. Before they join. So there are a lot of organizations who start tracking the talent and understanding where is the talent in different companies. And that communication of It's not necessary that every call that you make to that person is a hiring call, but you start engaging with people from different organizations to attract that organization. And then, obviously, the ultimate aim is to hire them. And after you hire them, there is a time that they have already resigned from the previous organization and they haven't yet joined your organization. That's the time they are most susceptible to get an offer from another company. You understand? So that is the most crucial part. So we started something called as KIT program, Keep in Touch program. Amazon hires approximately more than 500 to 600 people every year from different campuses in tech and B school. And we used to see that offer dropout rate is most at campus as compared to lateral, because lateral have experience and they understand that this is the organization, but at campus, please pardon me by saying that, but compensation, if X organization is offering me 5 lakhs and the another organization is offering me 6 lakhs, without even thinking, well, first, 6 lakhs is what I want to go with. We saw that there is a lot of offer dropouts that happen. We started a Keep in Touch program, and we started from the time that the person accepts an Amazon offer. There was continuous mails and phone calls and activities around engaging with the person even before the person comes on board, and that's what is employee engagement. Talent communication. In fact, we are a company which we believe in not spoon feeding anyone with respect to any of our HR activities. So even the induction is not something that the HR person will come and do it for you. So we have something called as a launch plan. Launch plan is, this is how you have to induct yourself. So these are the people you should go and meet. These are the trainings you should complete. This is the activities you should do in first 30, 60, 90 days. So that launch plan is sent to the employee before he joins. And we say, read about the organization before you come in. Do all this before you come in. And then he takes that launch plan and he starts inducting himself into the organization. So that's communication for us. Then comes talent management. What do you understand by talent management?
Putting the right people in the right place at the right time.
Okay.
To work on some specific job.
That's talent acquisition also.
Basically managing those talents and helping them develop and retaining them in the organization. So that is management.
Yeah. Let me just answer. When you manage things, they sometimes become unmanageable. That's my theory behind it, but any which ways we will.
Talent management basically means that managing your employees in the sense that you're developing their skills and basically engaging them in various activities.
So then, what is talent development? Yes, one
making them want to stay in the organization.
Okay.
Doing all what you can to retain them.
Okay.
Basically, it's describing them their KRAs.
Okay. What else?
Talent management, according to me, must start after the employee gets into the organization. It's basically employing the talent best suited to him, the area best suited to him.
We come to you, answer me.
What he said, assigning the talent, the job which is according to his own skill set.
Sure. Only Deepti, I would prefer that than ma'am. I know there's little age gap, but I still prefer being young. So, good definitions, good answers, but talent management for us is about how productive you can make the employee. And how can you empower the person to be more productive? And how does the employee come up with ideas to become more productive? That's talent management for us. And why there is a gap here is, the employees who become productive will find their own ways of developing themselves. They will, obviously get the organization to look at them to develop them. And in fact, in Amazon, again, I go back to Amazon examples, whereas I wanted to keep this very general. We don't have like 2-day training program like most organizations do. We have training program over a period of 6 months. 4 hours training, they'll give you some activities and then, or goals, and then you have to figure it yourself and come back. So those sessions where you sit and you learn theories are not there in Amazon. They say that, and even HR doesn't do the training there. It is the line people, the people on the floor, they do the training for everybody. So for us, if you feel you need to develop, come together as a group. Come with an idea and put that into action. That's what wellness is all about. So we talked about when should an organization focus. It has to start before the employee joins, and it doesn't end after the employee leaves, because you will be very surprised that in Amazon, anyone who leaves, there are a lot of engineers who join us. They work with us for 2 years and go and do an MBA. They come back and join Amazon. So we are always in touch with those people to see whether we can have them back in the organization. So for us, employee engagement is beyond the person leaving the organization. Now, very important question. Who is responsible for employee engagement in the organization?
Every employee in the organization. Every employee in the organization, as well as their immediate bosses and everyone.
Okay. Someone said HR. Who said HR? So, any organization, HR can only facilitate, but employee himself is responsible for employee engagement, and HR can facilitate the boss to look at the employee, but boss will only look at the employee if the boss finds meaning in that. So it's never ever the HR. So you must remember, if some of you are taking HR as a specialization, you are not going to develop employees. Employees themselves are going to develop themselves. So, so since you are going to be the future employees of an organization, these are the questions you should ask. What did I do today to improve communication with my managers and peers? What action did I take today to learn and grow? Whom did I thank today and who did I recognize? Was I mindful today of the company's long-term goal? And today, how engaged was I at work? Those are the 5 most important questions personally for me. So let me only pick one of the questions which is most dear to me, which is, whom did I thank today and who recognized me? How often do you thank people and recognize each other? Very often. So let's do a small exercise. I'll just take if I could take 2 minutes. Please get up from your seats and recognize any one person in this team who's sitting here and thank them for what a wonderful person you are. You know, it is important to thank one colleague every day, one subordinate every day, and one family member. And if you can, then one friend also, because you are most important. And you say that, you know, organizations should recognize you, thank you. You should start now. You should start thanking each other today. So all of you just get up for a minute and just go, not to the neighbor, but anyone here, and thank each other for the wonderful opportunity. Let me start with Kavi. Thank you for having Okay, can we sit down, please? Can we all sit down, please? Okay. So that's the end of my presentation.
I have a few questions.
Yes.
How do you get this 360-degree employee engagement in your organization? What endeavors do you have in your organization to ensure that it's 360?
Okay, so first and the foremost thing is 360 itself, you know, gives you the answer to the question that for us, employee engagement starts at every level. So it is not just, you know, us who's looking at 360, it is employees who come up and say that this is what we want to do. That's the first. The second is the organization vision is to be Earth most centric company. So we whenever we are having any meetings or any such thing, we say that a customer is sitting in this there is an empty chair in all meeting rooms that we say that this customer is sitting here. We assume that the customer is sitting here and we take a decision on behalf of the customer. So that's very important for us. Managers, HR, peers, all of them, if you look at our values, or we call them as leadership principles, we say one of the most important values for us is have a backbone, disagree and commit. So for every one of us, what we do is we come up with a lot of ideas and then we distill it down saying, is it really creating value to the customer? So for us, 360 means if the customer is most important, rest all the things will be taken care of. So it's not just because employee needs it, we'll do it. If customer needs it, then we'll do it. All the other things will be taken care of, because then you're looking for the customer, not for just the employee. So there are a lot of activities that I used to see in other organizations that I've worked, which we used to do thinking, well, this is beneficial for this person, that person. But here, in Amazon, we do not participate in any of the best employer surveys. We don't do any such thing which may not add value to the customer. So for us, 360 is only towards customer. You will see that Jeff Bezos, the founder of this company, always says one thing: I don't care about competition. Competition is here today, may go away tomorrow, but I only care about customers. So in reality, if you look at 360, is not really practiced other than looking at customer and working backwards from there.
Employees first, customer next. What do you say?
Employee is also a customer. So if you look at it, those employees buy from Amazon also. So if it is beneficial to the organization, to the customer, it will be beneficial to the employees. All of us buy from Amazon.in. I'm saying Amazon.com. In has just started, so there are only few products that we have. You should go and keep checking so that there are more products. But employees are customers first, and we always think that if employee thinks like a owner, he will think that customer first, employee second.
Last question. How do you measure the engagement?
Yeah, that was a question that I wanted to ask the employees also, but unfortunately it missed out. But the only criteria for us is attrition. Because the fact remains is all the engagement scores, disengagement scores, everything is just related to attrition, because if the person is happy, he will stay. If the person is not happy, he will not stay. You can do rest all the activities, and so that's the only measure, one simple measure that we do. Another of our values is simplify and invent. So you will see our dashboards and success measures are very simple. That's it. And in Amazon, attrition is not tracked by HR. It is tracked by the manager, the business leader, that have you made an impact.
We'll have the question answers round post IT.